Okay, so this is the final video for Dobby's sock. I have not finished the body of my monster, so I've just got a little cylinder type thing here to demonstrate on. Hold on, I'm going to turn my lights on better. Okay, so what I have is just a tube that ends at 30 stitches around, so pretend that up here is the rest of the body of Javier and you've just got this little ring of 30 stitches left. So, before you go any further, make sure that you have all of the pieces attached and have it stuffed most of the way. Alright, so the instructions start off with to separate the stitches into the following groups. 10 stitches on each side of the body, 5 in the back, 5 in the front. So what that means is that if we assume this is the front and this is the back, we're going to take 10 stitches from here, 10 stitches here, and there's going to be about 5 left in the middle. So I'm going to use my stitch marker to sort of mark those off. Alright, so I think if this is stitch number 1, get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That stitch number 10, mark that off. And then 5 on either side. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And just to confirm over on this side that we have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, we don't. Why is that? Oh, I put this over one too few. This is the 5th stitch. Okay, so we should be good now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5. Alright. So the first thing, put this back kind of in the right direction. So we have these 2 sections marked off on the back. The first thing I want you to do is just continue crocheting that row until it hits one of the stitch markers, because that's where we're going to start crocheting. So what we're going to do is treat these 10 stitches here like they're a round. So I'm going to try to leave, I'm going to take the stitch marker out, but you'll see what I'm doing. So we're going to do 10 stitches, and I'm actually going to put that stitch marker right back into that first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then gonna turn it right back into that same stitch we marked and do another stitch. Alright, so we've got our marker out there. And then we're going to just do one more round there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, So as you can see now, we've kind of got the start to a little leg. If you want to make those legs longer, you can just continue to go in the round for a bit. But I don't have any more, or in the instructions it just calls to close them up. So if you want to add any more stuffing through that hole for now, you can, or you can just wait for a minute. And then you're just going to, like we did on the hands, fold this flat and crochet between both the front stitch and the back stitch to close it off. So just through both of those all the way across. And then if you want to do even just one more row, so that's what row 33 is, chain 1 and single crochet 5 across. So just go right back across that row. And then fasten off. So cut that and fasten it off. And what you can do with that end is to use your yarn needle and just stick it on the inside. So thread my needle for a minute. So you can pretty much just shove this into the middle of the leg and pull it back. And there you go. You've got a gimpy little monster leg. So you'll do the same thing on the other side here. You'll have to connect new yarn for the new leg, and I would just start it right at one of those first stitches on the stitch marker and go all the way around it twice, and then do your rows back and forth to get this. So I'm going to do that off camera right now. Okay, so now that both of the legs are done, all we need to do is that hole in the middle, Javier's butt, we need to seam that up. So where you have that last live stitch, right there, the last stitch of your leg, just cut yourself a really long tail and close that stitch up just by bringing your yarn through the middle of the loop like you normally would. And then use your yarn needle to bring that yarn up inside of Javier, and you should be able to get your needle back out through the middle there. I may have cut this a bit longer than is necessary. Didn't want to run out. So now you just have those 5 stitches across, and all you need to do is go from one to the other and just pull through. And keep doing that back and forth. Two. Yep. Try not to get your leg caught. And remember before you seam this up to stuff him anymore if you want. Okay, so that's the 5 stitches back and forth. And I would just go back and forth across that seam a few times until you're satisfied with how tight it is and how good it looks. But when you do that, you should have a fully seamed up bottom. As you can see here, I missed a spot, so on my second pass I would go back over and clear that up. And when I'm done, I wouldn't actually leave this big of a stitch, but when I'm done I usually just kind of stick the yarn needle up in the middle of the monster and try to poke him back out somewhere at the top and leave that long tail on the inside of the piece rather than trying to leave a knot on the outside. So that's all there is to Javier's legs.